Hi guys, welcome to the CATWay. So in this video, we are going to solve our daily state. And before we begin, do not forget to like, share and subscribe. So the question that we have today is that the table given below shows the marks scored by 5 students in the 4 sections of an exam. The sum of the maximum marks in the 4 sections is 250. Okay. Some additional information has been given that the maximum marks in each section are a multiple of 10. A student passes in any exam only if he or she scores at least 40% of the marks in each of the sections. Then if a student scores less than 40% but more than or equal to 35% marks in one section of the test, then he or she is considered passed, provided he or she has scored at least 70% marks in some other section. Okay, so these are the some cases that we have been given. Now, the reading of the table is pretty easy, so we'll directly move towards the questions. So the first question is that if each student passes in the exam, then what percentage of marks is scored by Tapan in biology? All right. So guys, now for every student to pass in, if each student is passing the examination, right? That means at max they can get between 35 to 40% in one of the section, and in one of the section, then they need to have a 70%, right? Now, if you talk about physics, the minimum marks that is possible in physics is 50, right? The minimum marks that is possible in physics is 50. And for a very simple reason that T2 has got 42 marks in physics. So he can only get it out of 50. He cannot get it out of 40, right? So 50 is the possibility, right? Apart from that, if you go above now, if you go to 60 marks, if you go to 60 marks as the total, then Tapu will be getting only 30%, and there is no chance that Tapu can pass the exam. That means it is certain that the maximum marks of physics was 50, right? Now come to chemistry. The minimum possible maximum marks for chemistry is 50, right? The minimum possible maximum marks for chemistry is 50, right? Okay. So now 50 is the minimum possible. Okay, and it can go beyond that as well. Okay, it can go beyond that as well. All right. Then if you talk about maths, okay, if you talk about maths, okay, let's start by finalizing chemistry first. Okay, let's say we have 50 marks in chemistry. Okay, we have 50 as the marks in chemistry. Okay. Then guys, what do we have over here is that that all of them are getting passed in chemistry very easily. Okay, but still Tapu is remaining to get a 70% marks in one of the subjects, because even after 50 marks in physics, after having a 50 marks in physics, Tapu is falling in the range of 35 to 40%, right? He hasn't got a 40%, so Tapu still needs a 70% or more in one of the other sections, and that section is not chemistry if chemistry has 50 marks, right? So then we go to mathematics. Okay, then we go to mathematics, and now you are left with 150 marks to be distributed, right? You are left with 150 marks to be distributed. Now you cannot have a 80% marks in biology, because in that case Taklu guy will be failing. Okay, this guy will be failing completely, right? Because 35% also is at 28 marks and he is getting a 26. So the maximum marks possible for biology is 70, right? The maximum marks possible for biology is 70. And in that case, maths will get a 80, right? In that case, maths will get a 80. But in both these cases, considering both these cases, Tapu is not going to get 70% in any of them, right? Tapu is not going to get 70% in any of them, right? Now, if you have 50 in chemistry, then to get a 70% in any one of the subjects, right? You need to take for Tapu to have 70%, right? What or the best you can do is give maths a 60, but in that case you will have to give biology a 90. That is not possible, right? That is not possible. So biology is capped at 80. Okay, capped at 70. So let's say biology comes down to 60. Then also Tapu is failing in biology, like not getting 70% in biology. Let's say biology is coming down to 50. In that case, Tapu is getting 70% in biology. But in that case, people will definitely fail in mathematics. So this makes it clear that chemistry cannot be at 50 marks, right? So check for chemistry at 60 marks. Okay, let's say chemistry has 60 marks. Okay. So if chemistry has 60 marks, then too all of the people are passing. Okay, then also all of the people are passing. And now you're left with 140 marks to distribute. Now you have already concluded that the cap on biology is 70 marks, right? The cap on biology is 70 marks. Okay. And if you see if that in that case, then maths would be given a 70 marks, right? But in both these cases, Tapu is still not getting a 70% marks in any of the subjects, right? So this is also not a possibility now, right? If you take down biology to 60, then also it's not possible. If you take it down to 50, then only it's possible. In that case, maths will go to 90. And if maths goes to 90, then also there will be people who will be failing, such as Tapan is not even getting a 35% in maths. So Tapan will be failing. So then we realize that, okay, chemistry, giving chemistry 60 marks is not possible, right? Giving 60 marks to chemistry is not possible. So what you will do is you will get a 70 marks for chemistry, right? You will get a 70 marks for chemistry. Now you only have to redistribute 130. Okay, now only you have to redistribute 130 marks, right? And you definitely need a 70% marks for Tapu. You definitely need a 70% marks for Tapu, and that is only possible, you must have realized now, that by giving 50 marks in biology, right? And then you give a 80 marks in mathematics. Now see, this is the only criteria in which all of the students will pass. How? Tapu got a see, I'll represent this as between 35 to 40 and double star as 70 plus. Okay. So now for Tapu, if you check for physics, Tapu has got between 35 to 40 in physics, but he got 70% marks in biology. Okay. Similarly, if you check for chemistry, so you can see that all of them got more than 40%. Okay, so all of them are directly pass. Now talk about maths. So in maths, there are people like T2 who has got, and there are Tapan who has got between 35 to 40%, right? Between 35 to 40%. Now these people also need a more than 70% in one of the sections. So Tapan is getting it in biology. And T2 is getting it in physics. Okay, and in biology, nobody is getting less than 40%. So in this case, this is the only case in which all of them are passing the examination, right? Because, okay, check one more case if you want to. We have checked that chemistry 50, 60, we have checked 70, we checked. Okay, now come to chemistry at 80. Let's say chemistry has gone to 80. Okay, let's say chemistry has gone to 80 marks. Okay, so if chemistry goes to 80 marks, then Tapu will be having two subjects in which he will be getting, two sections in which he will be getting less than 40%, and then he will definitely fail. So chemistry is also fixed at 70. Okay, chemistry is fixed at 70, biology at 50, and maths at 80. Now the question is what was scored by Tapan in biology. So biology's total marks is 50 and he has scored at 37. So that means in percentage terms it will be 74%. So the correct answer for this is option number C. Now come to question number 2. So if you come to question number 2, what do we have over here is that what is the maximum number of students who can fail in the examination simultaneously? Okay, so you have to get maximum students failed in the examination simultaneously. Now, a very simple thing that you can do is, see, if you take the 90 marks ka criteria, okay, 90 marks ka criteria, or let's say any other criteria in which you can fail the maximum number of students. So that's very simple. Take, let's say physics as 100. Okay, if you take physics as 100, there are 4 people who are failing. Okay, we get 4 people who are failing. Okay, the rest marks can be 50, 50, and 50. All can be capped at 50, 50, and 50. In that case, there are 4 people who will be failing the examination because they are not even getting 35% marks, and below 35% marks in any section means they are failing examination, right? So through this, we can easily calculate that there are 4 people at best who can fail the examination. Okay, there are at best 4 people because minimum marks of chemistry has to be 50. The minimum marks of mathematics has to be 50. And similarly, the minimum marks for biology has to be 40, right? And in that case, you can take physics to 110, right? You can take physics to 110. And even in that case, T2 would be passing the examination because he has a chance of passing the examination because that guy is getting between a 35 to 40% in physics. Similarly, the minimum marks for physics is 50. It is here 50, it is here 50, and here 40. Okay, so let's say you make this one as 100. Okay, if you make this one as 100, then what will happen is that one of them will have to be increased to 50. Okay, let's say this is increased to 50, or let it be, let's say this is 110. then 2 there are two people who will be passing. So the best case scenario is or you can have or let's say you can have 100 people in 100 marks in biology. Okay, 100 marks in biology, then 2 there will be 1 2 3 1 2. Okay, then only 3 people will be failing. So the best possible case is for 100 over here, 50 50 and 50 over here, and in that case we can get 4 people to fail. That means the correct answer is option number B, that is 4. Now come to the third question. Now Tapu got less than 40% marks in exactly 2 sections, right? So, and the rest of the students score more than or equal to 40% in all the sections. So if Tapu is the person who has to score less than 40% in 2 of the sections, and in all, both those sections and the other 2 sections also, all the other students are scoring more than 40%. That means in those 2 sections, Tapu got the lowest score. Now, Tapu got the lowest score in physics and chemistry. Okay, Tapu got the lowest score in physics and chemistry. Okay. So physics and chemistry, if you guys see, then if he has to get less between 35 to 40% marks in chemistry, then in chemistry's total score cannot be 70, right? It cannot be 70, right? Because if it is 70, then Tapu will be getting more than 40%, right? So that means the minimum score possible at chemistry is 80, right? The minimum score possible at chemistry is 80. In that case, Tapu will be getting between 35 to 40%. And 80 above, if you check for 90, so if you go to 90, then you have Taklu at 33 marks, and that guy will be getting less than 40%, but that is not the possible case. So the only possible marks for chemistry are 80, and now it has been asked that in that case, how much percentage of marks did Tapu get in chemistry? So Tapu got 30 marks out of 80, which is basically equal to 37.5%. So the correct answer for this question is option number C, 37.5%. So with this, the set is complete, and hope you have understood the set well, guys. Thanks for watching the video.